Hey friends, it's Liz, your official craft nerd, and today I am super excited about this video. I have teamed up with Jamie at the Crafty DIY Guy, and we are doing a craft challenge. We call it the I Got It, You Got It, and let's just jump right into it. So basically the premise of the challenge is we both took a look at our craft stash, and out of our Dollar Tree items we chose 5 different items that we both had, and we're just going to do our own versions and DIYs off of those items. So there was no theme or anything like that. We are just going to do our own take of what we want to make with those particular Dollar Tree items. So for the first one, we're using this thankful sign, and I'm basically just going to scrape off the lettering. It is a wood die cut lettering, and as long as it doesn't break, y'all, don't throw it away, keep it. I will be using it again in a future project in this video actually. So what I'm doing here is I'm just going ahead and kind of measuring out where I want to drill some holes. Now I'm apologizing ahead of time because there are a few of the DIYs on the video that when I recorded, I did not realize that I bumped my camera angle. So some things were out of frame, and I don't want to waste anybody's time with those on the video, so I just didn't put them in there. But basically what I did was drilled the holes into the wood backing, and then I'm taking some of that jute rope and I split it into 4 pieces, and that's going to be my wall hanging tool, I guess you can say, for this project. I did go ahead and painted the wood backing, but then I realized I really didn't care for it just in that gray color. So I got out my handy dandy Mod Podge. I love these Plaid products. They work so perfectly for anything that I've been doing. So definitely thought this was a better option. And I'm taking some of that Tim Holtz collage paper that I absolutely love to use, and that is what I'm going to collage down on this backing. Real simple. Add the Mod Podge, put down the paper, smooth it out as best as you can, and then you can just easily trim off those edges using a nail file because it will come off nice and smooth. So once my backing was dried, I went ahead and placed it back into the frame, and I left those little tabs in there that hold the picture frames in, and I used those just to secure it down. But I also did put a little small lining of hot glue along the inner side of the frame so this would stay put. Now here I am just taking some of my jute cord, and I'm going to go ahead and thread it through those holes, and then I'm just going to tie 2 little knots on the bottom of each one of these strands that I thread through. So once I have all 4 corners threaded through, I'm going to go ahead and just simply tie them all together in one big knot at the top, and that is going to secure my hanging for my wall hanger. And this is how it came out. I absolutely love this. I thought this was super adorable, super cute, very simple to do, really. Not a whole lot of quote-unquote DIYing needing to be done here, but I definitely think this was super adorable. And this is it up against a wall. Again, you can hang it any way you like, but I don't know, you guys. Tell me what you think about this one down below. So hey friends, real quick, if you don't already, follow me on Instagram at officialcraftnerd. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. I hope you like what you see and you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell down below. And if you are already a subscriber, thank you so much, friends, for coming back and visiting me. I hope you enjoyed this video. So you guys, if you are already a subscriber to the Crafty DIY Guy, you need to head over to his channel after this video, of course, and check out those amazing videos. His DIYs are absolutely wonderful, and he does amazing Dollar Tree hauls and thrift hauls that you will absolutely love. Make sure you check out his video down below. So our second challenge item is going to be this galvanized sign. Mine has the star on it. I believe Jamie's has the little house, but they are the same sign. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking this older Valentine's sign that I got from the 99-cent store, basically removing all this stuff off of the front of it. And then I'm taking a couple coats of my Waverly chalk paint and plaster and just going ahead and getting this sign nice and covered. I'm not too worried about if anything kind of pops through below, like the letters or anything, because we are going to be covering it up. Now I'm using this chalkboard contact paper that I purchased off Amazon. I can definitely link it down in my description box below for you. And I want to have just an even amount, or I should say the exact same size as my sign with the chalkboard paper. So I'm basically just kind of measuring it out there. And then I'm going to glue down my galvanized sign right there on the right hand side of this. And then I'm going to take my contact paper as well, and then I'm going to put it to the left of this. Now, removing that star off the galvanized sign, it was screwed in there. It did actually just pop right off, but you do have to remove the screws. So again, it's completely up to you if you feel like you need to kind of cover it up or whatever, but the holes didn't bother me at all. So now what did get me a little bit was I didn't like how unfinished the chalkboard paper and the galvanized sign looked on this. So I decided to take more of that jute cord, and I just go around each of the squares individually, just kind of giving it a little extra definition here. So if you don't already know, I am an Amazon affiliate, and I do like to leave links down below in the description box of products and tools that I use all the time during my crafting. So if you're interested in them, you can go ahead and click those links and get brought right to them on Amazon. Now, like I said earlier, I saved that thankful die cut lettering from our first project, and I am actually going to use it on this one. So I'm just gluing it down right at the very top of this sign and just keeping this very simple. So the next thing I wanted to do was I wanted to create some magnets for the galvanized metal part of this, basically like a to-do sign, I guess. I'm not sure what you would say, like a memo board sign or whatever. And I have these little flowers that I got from Hobby Lobby. They're like little linen flowers. I absolutely love them. And I just glued them down on some of these magnetic buttons that come from the Dollar Tree. Easy peasy. There you got some really pretty magnets. I also decided to go ahead and create just kind of like a little bow, like a messy bow type deal. I didn't have a lot of it recorded again because, like I said, I apologize. A lot of it got done off camera. So you'll see it in the final end result, but it's just a real, kind of sloppy bow that I placed on the corner of the chalkboard sign. And of course, with all of my projects, you guys, I distress it. So just adding a little bit of that antique wax to the corners and the top of this just to kind of make it all blend together with the things that I like and what I want to see in my own home. So yeah, this was it. This was the final product. I thought this was super, super cute. Definitely something that can be easily designed and made for your own home. But it's a perfect little memo board. You can just hang things up with your little magnets. You can write things on the chalkboard side. Real easy peasy. So you guys tell me what you think about this one down below. I'd love to hear. So challenge item number 3 was this awesome wall decal tile thing. Dollar Tree has these out. They come in different styles, and actually the style that Jamie used, I did have that one. However, I choose to use this particular one because I loved the detail and the ornateness of it. So what I wanted to do was put it on this larger wood plaque sign that also comes from Dollar Tree. And I just measured it out from the center because I wanted to get most of that detail. What I did was I cut it down perfect size so I can go ahead and place it on top of my sign. And once I got it stuck down there nice and good, what I do is flip it over and use my X-Acto knife and just kind of trim up any of the excess edges that may be showing because it, maybe I cut it a little too long. So I also flipped it over and I'm taking that X-Acto knife and I'm cutting through the slats as well because I did want this to look like it was just on each individual slat and not just completely covering up the wood sign altogether. So once that was done, I went ahead and gave this sign a coat of my Waverly chalk paint in plaster. I did give it about 2 coats, but not real heavy coats. I still wanted that dimension of that wall decal to come through because, again, like I really liked the texture that it gave this sign. So, and the reason being is once this is painted, I'm going to go ahead with my antique Waverly wax, of course, but I'm going to use a baby wipe with it to try to give it a very light brush over just so some of that detail will come through. And then once I covered all of the slats that way and I wiped them down with a paper towel because, again, I really didn't want it to be just completely coated. I just really wanted those details to kind of show through. And but once I do that, I do go back over the edges, of course, and the sides with a brush and give it a little bit more distressing. So once that was done, I decided to go ahead and add, of course, a little bit more embellishment to this. So I took a couple of pieces of this ribbon that I got from Hobby Lobby, and I also had some of this excess pearl ribbon laying around. You guys know I have a lot of like burlappy, lacy, pearly, just random old school stuff because, you know, I like that shabby chic style. So but I'm using that for decal here. And then this is actually a flower messy bow that I made for this project beforehand, but I didn't like how it came out, so I redid it. So I don't have a video footage of that, but this is all she wrote, you guys. It was very, very simple. Again, I really liked the detail from the wall decal, and it just made the sign pop. So challenge item number 4 was the jute twine, and I love that Jamie talks about how he almost forgot all about this, and if you should see our messages, you guys, it's so funny because that was his first number 1 thing he wanted to use. So the fact he forgot, but we definitely got it. And I decided, I mean, because honestly, who doesn't have this jute cord? I think everybody has this in their stash somewhere, but I'm always looking for new things to use it and how to use it and everything. This time around, I decided I was going to make my own baskets with it. And I just wanted some little baskets, and basically it's real easy to do. You're just going to see me here kind of winding the cord around itself and just really kind of figuring out how big I wanted it to be. And then once I got that size kind of figured out, after I've gone around and around, then what I do is I take it and I'm going to kind of lift it up and over, and it's going to start stacking on each other. And it may be a little hard to explain, so hopefully you can kind of see it what I'm talking about in this video. But see, I'm getting around the sides here, but then I'm going to go ahead and place some glue on the top part eventually. Eventually I'm getting there. There we go. So as you see, I'm putting it on the top of this part, and now I'm going to just kind of keep going around the circle, just making layer upon layer, and that is how I come up with my basket. And basically, you guys, you can do this as big as you want, as small as you want, as tall as you want. It's however you want this to look. And I just envisioned these little tiny baskets with these little tiny handles, and, you know, basically for some flowers or something cute like that, because I didn't want anything too large and extravagant for this. And I just thought these little baskets were absolutely adorable. And I'm actually looking forward to making some more now that I figured out how easy this was to do. But you guys see, so simple. And of course, I'm just trimming off any of that excess weird hard stuff that comes out of those jute cords. I also took just 2 pieces of my cord, and I'm going to make little handles. And these were little, I won't say that it was difficult to do, but you just have to have some time because you want to make sure you can hold down on the glue there and keep it steady so that it will stick, and then kind of just go with the bend of the cord for the way that you want your handle to loop around, so that way there's not too much tension or anything like that, and it pulls off. But other than that, it really, really worked well with just the hot glue alone. Now, for time purposes, I didn't show you that I made 2 baskets, but here are both the baskets right now. I made one a little bit wider, a little bit bigger, and really all I'm doing is just kind of burning off some of those frayed edges and extra hot glue and stuff like that, which is totally optional. I just decided to get a little fancy this time around, I guess. But once you get done doing that, we're going to go ahead and decorate these. Now, I'm just using some of this lace ribbon that I also get from Hobby Lobby. And a lot of these are from the His and Hers section, which is their wedding section. Always keep an eye out for their ribbons there because they're on sale a lot. So, but this is also a white ribbon that I just split down in 2. It's a little bit wider, but I thinned it out myself and just placed it over top of this other off-white ribbon that I love. And I'm also going to take the remaining piece of that split ribbon that I did, and I'm just going to tie it into a bow. And I'm just going to add that simple little sweet bow to the side of this basket. And really that's all there is to this project, you guys. I made the baskets, and then I'm just going to kind of jazz them up a little bit with the little decals, you know, some ribbons, some bows. And you guys can do absolutely anything, you know, that you want to with these, add any kind of embellishments or decals. I just thought that these are definitely super sweet, and they are something I would love to show in my own home. And these are my final pieces. You guys, I love, love, love these baskets. I just think they're so adorable and so stinking cute. And they would make great gifts or just pieces around your home. Like, I don't know, I'm in love. Tell me what you think. Okay, so the final challenge item were these die cut wooden pieces. Okay, I decided I wanted to use the flowers. I think Jamie used the leaves, which his project was amazing. And I honestly was like, okay, I've got so many of these die cuts, I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to do. So, of course, why not make a wall piece? I love making wall pieces. So, as you saw there, I just kind of deconstructed this Dollar Tree, oh man, it just slipped my mind, canvas. There we go. And basically, I just deconstructed it, took off the canvas. Of course, I'm repurposing it here, as you can tell. And then I'm taking some popsicle sticks also from Dollar Tree. And I've decided I wanted to do kind of like a wood, not shiplap, but you know what I mean, a wood background. I'm going to take every other piece, and I'm doing different colors. So I've done just a wood stain, basically with that wax, antique wax. I've taken a green color, and I'm taking this beautiful vintage rose color, and I'm also going to use a cashew color from Waverly as well to give just some dimension, different colors and pieces for this backdrop of this picture. Once I get all of the popsicle sticks done, I do go ahead and completely cover the canvas frame in that cashew color as well. Now, the canvas itself, this particular canvas, the wood, was pretty janky. As you can probably see, it was very rough. And even when I sanded it down, it just did not fix. So sometimes you are going to come across some of these frames. They're not smooth and pretty like they always are. Sometimes you get some of these really rough ones. But for the sake of the video, I wasn't going to go destruct another one. I figured this is going to be just fine because I like things to look worn and vintage and beat up and old. So very good for me. But if it's not your style, of course, you know, definitely go for trying to find a more smoother frame. But then once this was all done, I did go ahead as usual. I took some of my antique wax, and I'm going to distress the frame up a little bit just to give it a little bit more dimension, as if it couldn't use any more. And then I also, which I don't record here, But I distressed every one of those popsicle sticks as well. And then I take my sanding block and sand them all down a little bit too. Then I'm just going to go ahead and glue them on easy peasy on the back, just like so, and just alternating the colors. And I love how this works. I've done this method many times before. These make for such adorable little signs and wall pieces. And it's so simple, just using popsicle sticks and a, Dollar Tree canvas frame. Super easy. I loved how this looked. Just like this. Even by itself, I think it looked great. But, we're going to add our challenge item, which are going to be some of these flowers. Now, what I decided to do was to take my antique wax, I keep talking about antique wax, my Waverly chalk paint and cashew, and I'm giving each of these flowers a nice once over, and then I do sand them down just so they're not too bright. And then I'm going to create basically I guess it's a flower vase, but I don't show it here because, like I said before, my camera angle, y'all, I screwed it up this time. So I took a piece of ribbon and I folded it over. That's what's creating that white flower vase or vase or however you want to say it. And then I took some cord, some twine, and I'm using that as the stems. And I just have that all glued down there. And then I'm gluing my flowers to the end of my stems. And I just wanted to have this really simple, pretty 3D type floral art piece that you could hang anywhere. Of course, I'm going to finish it off with just a very simple little bow out of some twine and put it on top of my little ribbon flower vase thing. Never know how to say that ever. And that's it. Like, this was a really easy, quick project to do. And it'll get, I know I take things to the extreme and distress everything and do a little bit of extra, but that's just how I work. If you have an easier way to do it, or if there's something else that you like, by all means, feel free to do it. And, that's what makes crafting and DIYing so much fun, because it literally is your own take on things. So do what you like and do you guys. But this was it. This was super easy. I loved this piece. It definitely goes well with all of my other pieces, and I can hang it up in my home proudly. But yeah, you'll have to tell me which one was your favorite out of all 5. These are all of them together. I hung up my little basket on my floral plant hanger thingy that I made too. But I loved these all so much. This was absolutely the most fun I think I've had in a challenge in a while. Jamie, thank you so much for joining me on this. And I really hope that I see a lot of you guys join in soon. So thanks so much again for watching. And like always, y'all, stay safe.